Welcome to this short video, which explains some of the ways TUSLA manages child safeguarding reports we receive.
Hi, I'm Ger Brophy, Chief Social Worker in TUSLA.
TUSLA social work departments receive reports about the safety and welfare of children. We treat all child welfare and protection reports seriously. We consider carefully and fairly the information reported to us to try and strike a balance between protecting the child from harm and intervening proportionately to support families to keep children safe from harm.
In all of these considerations, the best interest of the child is our primary concern.
All reports are screened when they're received by the TUSLA Social Work Department. This means a mandated report under the Children First Act, a report of reasonable grounds for concerns under the Children First National Guidance, reports about retrospective cases of child abuse, and reports of current concerns are all screened in the same way.
When we receive a referral, the first consideration is the immediate safety of the child and whether we require to take action to respond urgently.
All reports to TUSLA should be screened on the same day they are received. When screening, we also consider whether the worries relate to other children in that family. We screen reports to decide whether a social work response is needed. Some reports are closed at screening stage. For example, a report where there aren't reasonable grounds for concern, or there's no indication of harm to a child. A report of concerns that don't need a child protection and welfare-led social work intervention. These reports are recorded, but the case is then closed to social work. They may be referred to another support service, such as a family resource centre, a voluntary family support service, TUSLA education support services, or others.
Where there is reasonable grounds for concern, or where harm for the child is identified and further information is required, a preliminary inquiry will be conducted.
The preliminary inquiry seeks to gather and consider relevant information regarding a reported concern, consider the immediate safety of the child, and take immediate protective steps if required. Examine all information held by TUSLA and determine whether the report meets the threshold for child protection and welfare social work, and to divert cases where this threshold is not met. Or categorise the report such as neglect, emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. Then we prioritise the report and respond to accepted reports in a proportionate and timely manner. And then we notify the Gardaí where appropriate in all cases of suspicion of a crime or abuse.
The purpose of the initial assessment is to determine whether there has been harm to a child, or if there's possible future danger for that child, or if there's any existing safety that could protect that child from harm in the future.
The assessment includes meeting the child's parents, and contacting professionals involved. The social worker seeks to develop an understanding of the child, their circumstances, and to identify family strengths and protective factors. The initial assessment will determine if sufficient safety is present within the family and their network, or whether the child requires a social work-led comprehensive safety planning process in order to develop a safety plan. The initial assessment determines which of the TUSLA response pathways the report moves to. If the social worker identifies that there are ongoing unmet needs for the child, but no ongoing risk of harm, the worker can divert the family to other child and family services, such as TUSLA Prevention, Partnership and Family Support Service, Family Support Networks, a MEHL, or services provided in family resource centres. These are all strengths-based, family-led services, which a family agrees to engage with. In these cases, where there is no ongoing risk of harm, the referral is closed to the social work department. Safety planning is a structured process based on the assessment of harm, the creation of clear danger statements, and safety goals. Danger statements Give the reasons we are working with the family in clear, simple language. They include what we are worried could happen if nothing changes and the impact on the child or young person. Safety goals say what we need to see to feel confident that the child or young person is safe enough for us to step down or close the case. The safety goals show everyone what we are working together to achieve. The goal of safety planning is for the family and their naturally connected network to demonstrate to TUSLA that, over time, they can keep the child safe in relation to identified harm and danger. Safety planning should always involve building a network around the child and his or her family. The plan should be behaviourally specific about the specified risks identified and will have detailed information about who will do what to keep the child safe when the danger is present. A safety plan must always be demonstrated, monitored, and tested over time before the case can close. The Child Protection Conference, or CPC, is an interdisciplinary, interagency meeting convened by TUSLA. A CPC must be convened when TUSLA determines there are grounds for believing that a child is at ongoing risk of significant harm from abuse, including neglect. The purpose of the CPC is to provide rigorous oversight for the creation, implementation, and monitoring of effective safety plans for children experiencing ongoing risk of significant harm. Effective safety plans must be co-produced in partnership with children, the family, and their support network, with the assistance and support from other professionals. If during the safety planning process, the parents cannot demonstrate the ability to provide safety and protection for their child, then the decision is made at the CPC regarding the ongoing risk and if alternative plans need to be put in place for the child. Sometimes this can mean the child going to live with a relative, a professional foster carer, or in a residential home. TUSLA's national approach to practice, Signs of Safety, is used throughout the post-referral process. The main goal of TUSLA's screening, preliminary inquiry, assessment, and intervention is to give the right response to the right person at the right time, and to reduce the risk of ongoing harm and help keep children safe. You can find out more about TUSLA's responsibilities and their national approach to practice on our website. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video.